Clan Macfie is a Scottish clan. Since 1981, the clan has been officially registered with the Court of the Lord Lyon, which is the heraldic authority of Scotland. The clan is considered an armigerous clan because even though the clan is recognized by the Court of the Lord Lyon, it is currently without a chief recognized by the Lord Lyon King of Arms, the judge of the Court of the Lord Lyon. The official clan name Macfie is derived from the Gaelic Mac Dhuibhshíthe. This Gaelic patronymic name has been anglicised into various forms, many of which are considered associated names of the clan. The clan has a long history with the islands of Colonsay and Oronsay in the Scottish Inner Hebrides, and today many monuments to various lairds and churchmen of the clan are found on these islands. The 19th-century historian W.F. Skene named the clan as one of the 7 clans of Sile Alpin, who according to Skene could all trace their ancestry back to Alpin, father of Lord Mac Dhuibhshíthe. Popular tradition has been until recently to consider Lord Mac Dhuibhshíthe the first king of Scots and a Gael. However, recent research has shown he was actually a Pictish king and likely a Pict himself. Little is known of the early history of the clan. However, it is certain that the clan served under the Lords of the Isles, descendants of Somerled, who ruled the Hebrides from the 14th century to the late 16th century. Following the forfeiture of the Lordship of the Isles in the late 15th century, the clan still attached itself to powerful MacDonalds. In the early 17th century, the last chief of the clan was executed as Colonsay was lost to the control of a MacDonald. Without a chief of their own to control their homelands, the clan was considered a leaderless, broken clan. For this point on, the Macfies followed the MacDonalds of Islay, though a branch of the clan was dispersed to lands controlled by Clan Cameron. In the early 19th century, Ewan Macfie became a notorious outlaw, revered and feared by locals and despised by the authorities. Today the modern Clan Macfie is alive with 9 associated clan societies located around the world. History. The 19th-century historian W.F. Skene stated that members of Clan Macfie were the ancient inhabitants of Colonsay. He also read that the clan was one of the 7 clans of Sile Alpin, and that their genealogy, which is preserved in the manuscript of 1450, evinces the connection by descent with the MacGregors and MacKinnons. The 7 clans of Sile Alpin could, according to Skene, trace the descent from Alpin, father of the traditional first king of Scots, Lord Mac Dhuibhshíthe. However, even while stating all this, he wrote that there was nothing known about the early history of Clan Macfie. Over a century after Skene, W.D.H. Seller wrote that according to later Gaelic tradition, Dubside, ancestor of Clan Macfie, fostered Eoin as Mór, Lord of Islay. Martin, in his A Description of the Western Isles of Scotland of 1703, wrote that on the south side of the Church of St. Columba on Oronsay were the tombstones of Mac Dhuibhshíthe and the cadets of his family. The principal stone bore the engraving of a Berlin 2-handed claymore and the inscription Hic Jacet Mal Columbus Mac Dhuibhshíthe de Colonsay. The burial place of the Macfies was a small chapel on the south side of the church on Oronsay. Another stone is for Sir Donald Mac Dhuibhshíthe, who was abbot of Oronsay when Donald Munro, High Dean of the Isles, toured the Western Isles in 1549. According to a manuscript, written in the 17th century, pertaining to the coronation of the Lords of the Isles, and the Council of the Isles, Mac Dhuibhshíthe, or Macfie of Colonsay, kept the records of the Isles. In 1463 Macfie of Colonsay was a member of the Council of the Isles, listed as Donald Mac Dhuibhshíthe, a witness to a charter by John of Islay, Earl of Ross, the last Lord of the Isles, dated the 12th of April at the the Earl's Castle of Dingwall. After the fall of the Lordship of the Isles, the Macfies followed the MacDonalds of Islay. In 1531, the chief of the clan, Morphy Macfie de Colwysne, and many other West Highland chiefs were cited for treason and summoned to Parliament as supporters of the rebellious Alexander MacDonald of Dunveig and the Glens. This Macfie chief died in 1539 and his impressive tombstone can still be seen. Donald Munro, High Dean of the Isles, in his A Description of the Western Isles of Scotland called Hebrides in 1549, described the island of Jura as partly controlled by Maclean of Jewett, Maclean of Lochbuie, and Macfie of Colonsay. In describing the island of Colonsay, Munro read that it had once been held by MacDonald of Kintyre, but was then currently ruled by a gentle captain, Calatham Duffy, gentle meaning well-born, and captain being the old styling of chief. By 1587, atrocities committed between warring West Highland clans had escalated to such an extent that Parliament devised what is known as the General Ban. In an effort to quell hostilities, the ban was signed by landowners throughout the Scottish Highlands, Borders and the islands, requiring them to be responsible for the men who lived within the lands. The signing chiefs were required to come up with sureties equal to the wealth and lands for the peaceful conduct of the followers. In it the Laird of Colonsay, Mfee of Colosay, is listed as one of the landlords in the Scottish Highlands and Islands where broken men dwell. Despite the government's actions to secure the peace, about this time Lachlan Moore Maclean of Jewett ravaged the MacDonald Islands of Islay and Gea, slaughtering 500 to 600 men. Maclean of Jewett then besieged Angus MacDonald of Dunveig and the Glens at his castle Dunveig. The siege was only lifted when MacDonald of Dunveig and the Glens agreed with Maclean of Jewett to surrender half of his lands on Islay. However, despite his agreement with the Macleans, MacDonald of Dunveig and the Glens then invaded the Maclean Islands of Mull, Tiree, Col and Lewing. Angus MacDonald of Dunveig and the Glens was aided in the action by Donald Gore Moore MacDonald of Sleat and many West Highland clans such as the MacDonalds of Clan Ranald, Mayshans of Ardna Merkin, MacLeods of Lewis, MacNeils of Gea, MacAlisters of Loop, and also the Macfies of Colonsay. Supporting Maclean of Jewett were the MacLeods of Harris and Dunveig and MacNeils of Barra, MacKinnons of Strathrodal and the Macquaries of Ulva. In 1609, Donald Macfie in Colonsay was present at the Assembly of Island Chiefs and Gentlemen, who met with the Bishop of the Isles at Iona, when the 9 Statutes of Icomkill were enacted, which were to bring the Western Isles under the control of the Scottish Parliament. Fall of the clan. In 1615 Malcolm Macfie of Colonsay supported Sir James MacDonald of Islay, chief of Clan Donald South, after MacDonald had escaped from Edinburgh Castle. Macfie was one of the principal leaders in MacDonald's rebellion against the government, who had promised Islay to the Campbells. The combined forces of Macfie and Donald Gaelic Mac Dhuibhshíthe, who was the leading man on the nearby Isle of Jura, contributed a total of 64 men to the MacDonald rebellion. When Sir James MacDonald's force of 400 men landed at Kinloch in Kintyre, they were made up in part by the special men from Islay, Macfie of Colonsay, Donald Gaelic of Jura, Alistair MacReynald of Keppoch, and North Islesmen. The Earl of Argyll later secured the submission of Colosio Tach MacDonald, who was another chief of Clan Donald South. Colosio Tach then captured Malcolm Macfie of Colonsay, among 18 others, and handed them over to the Earl of Argyll. Malcolm Macfie, along with another rebel leader, received assurance for their lives by serving on the government's side against the rebels while in the company of the Earl of Argyll. The Earl, in late 1615, 1616, presented the capture to the Privy Council. For several years both Celtus and the Macfie chief lived on Colonsay, with Celtus residing at Killeoran and Macfie at Dunabin. During this time the two feuded, judging by the many hiding places which bear his name, such as Lieb, Falich Mhici. Macfie was chased from one to another for quite some time. Finally, in 1623, Malcolm Macfie was chased from Colonsay and pursued to Ellan-nan-Ron. There, on the southwestern corner of Ellan-nan-Ron, called Untitled, he was spotted and taken by the MacDonalds. Popular lore has it that the Macfie chief was finally discovered when his hiding place amongst the seaweed was given away by a gull. As it hovered over Macfie's position, Celtus men were alerted by its cry and spotted the clan chief on a ledge of rock at the edge of the sea. After being apprehended, the chief was then tied to a stone and summarily shot. Celtus and several of his followers appear in the council records in 1623 as being accused of killing the Macfie chief. Because of the death of their chief, the Macfies finally lost control of Colonsay. The island then passed to the MacDonalds, as Celtus took the island for himself and held it peacefully for many years. The island was later to be absorbed into the earldom of Argyll, until it was sold in 1701 to MacNeill a Creer. Without its own chief, the clan became a broken clan, and for the most part followed the MacDonalds of Islay, with Macfies making up only a small proportion of the total population of Colonsay. A branch of the clan, after the collapse of the clan, settled in Lochaber and followed Cameron of Lochiel, chief of Clan Cameron. A Macfie was one of the two pipers at Glenfinnan. When on the 19th of August 1745 Charles Edward Stuart raised his standard and claimed both the Scottish and English throne in the name of his father James Francis Edward Stuart. The following year Macfies were among the Camerons, who were on the right flank of the Jacobite army at the Battle of Culloden. Macfie the Outlaw, a well-known character in Inverness Shire in the 19th century, was a Ewan Macfie who lived as an outlaw. Described as Scotland's last outlaw, he recognized no landowner, stole sheep, and raised a family upon a small island. Ewan Macfie was a young man when he was enlisted by his landlord into a Highland regiment of the British Army. Macfie was said to have been an able soldier, but he soon deserted the army and fled to his native Glengarry, where he had living in Fedden with his sister. For the Fedden in Glengarry, www. Clan Cameron. Org states, crevice through which the winds blows, site of a croft which sat right on a disputed Cameron-Glengarry boundary line, just below Meal and Tagra. The elderly woman who lived here managed to divert of stream each time either the Cameron or Glengarry men came to collect the rent. She managed to avoid paying rent for years, claiming her home was on the other side of the boundary stream. His regiment then sent a troop of soldiers to arrest him for desertion, though just as Macfie was about to be taken handcuffed aboard a steamer at Corpig, he managed to escape and fled his captors. Ewan Macfie lived for 2 years around the shores of Loch Arkaig before building a bothy on a small island in Loch Coich, which has since borne his name, Ellen Mhici. Macfie then took for his wife a 14-year-old girl who lived across the hill in Glendulochin. As time passed, Macfie was feared and looked upon by the poor inhabitants of the Glen Assassia. Macfie believed himself to have supernatural powers. He weaved charms and cattle were brought to him to be cured. As the years passed, neighboring shepherds finally decided to put an end to Macfie's sheep stealing, and the sheriff sent 2 officers to confront Macfie. As the officers rode to his island, they were fired upon by Macfie's wife and the officers fled. A week later an armed party was then sent and Ewan Macfie was finally arrested and taken to prison, where he eventually died. the modern clan. In 1864, the first Macfies to have coats of arms registered in the public register of all arms and bearings in Scotland were Robert Macfie of Langhouse and Edson Robert Andrew Macfie of Dreghorn, two highly successful businessmen in the sugar industry. The heraldic crest within the clan's crest badge is actually derived from the heraldic crest on the coat of arms of Robert Andrew Macfie of Dreghorn. In 1968, Earl Douglas Macfie of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada started a movement to have the clan Macfie officially registered with the Lord Lyon, King of Arms. On the 10th of May 1977, the Macfie standing stone on Ballaram in Moore-on-Colonsay was dedicated as a memorial to the last chief of the clan, who was executed against it in 1623. In May 1981, Clan Macfie was formally recognized by the Lord Lyon, King of Arms, and later in November of that year, Earl Macfie was appointed as commander of Clan Macfie by the Lord Lyon, King of Arms. Following Earl Macfie's death in 1982, Alexander Carpendale Macfie of Australia was appointed by the Lord Lyon, King of Arms, as commander of Clan Macfie on the 7th of September 1989. In March 2008, the Lord Lyon gave permission for Clan Macfie to convene an ad hoc Dáibhshíthe to choose a successor to Macfie, who had by then decided to step down. Ian Morris Macfie was chosen to petition the Lord Lyon, and on doing so was later appointed as commander of Clan Macfie. Today there are 9 clan societies associated with Clan Macfie. The societies are located around the world in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Scotland, Sweden, and the United States of America. An ongoing surname DNA project is being conducted to help discover the clan's genetic roots and to determine how people with the same surname or similar surname are related. Currently, there are 132 participants in the project. To date, the project has found 40 separate bloodlines out of the total number of participants. The largest bloodline, which consists of 7 quintillion 1 quadrillion 250 trillion spade suit 25% of the total participants, and also contains the line of the last Macfie on Colonsay, is currently thought to represent the original male line of the clan. The vast majority of bloodlines, including the largest, are within the haplogroup R1b, which the project describes in layman's terms as Celtic. Clan profile. Origin of the name. The origin of name Macfie is from the Gaelic Mac Dhuibhshíthe, which means son of Dhuibhshíthe. This Gaelic personal name is composed of 2 elements, Dove plus Sith. An early bearer of this personal name is recorded in the Annals of Ulster. This Dhuibhshíthe was listed being the lector of the monastic community at Iona in the year 1164. The name Macfie is rendered as Macfie in modern Scottish Gaelic, according to a passage in the Carmina Gadelica, which was a collection of Gaelic folkloric poems from 1855 to 1910. There was a family on North Uist which was known as Dhuibhshíthe, from a tradition that the family have been familiar with the fairies in the fairy flights and secret migrations. This family were the North Uist Macwashes, who also for a time commonly bore Dhuibhshíthe as a given name. There were never many Macwashes on the Uists, and after a time Dhuibhshíthe ceased to be used as a given name there, though it carried on in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, Canada, taking the forms of Dushi, Duffus and even David. These Macwashes are considered septs of Clan Donald. In the early 19th century, Skene found and transcribed a 15th century Gaelic manuscript which gave the genealogies of many Highland clans. He first published his transcriptions and translations of it in the early 19th century Collectionaire rebus Albanicis, and later with revisions in the late 19th century in his chief work Celtic Scotland. Today the manuscript, which Skene named MS 1450 and later MS 1467, is stored in the National Library of Scotland. The manuscript was written by Gaelic Mac Dhuibhshíthe in 1467 at Ballybothy, County. The following is Skene's versions of the genealogy attributed to the chiefs of Clan Macfie in the manuscript. First is in Collectionaire rebus Albanicis, secondly is in Celtic Scotland. According to Skene in Collectionaire rebus Albanicis, the Donald first mentioned may be the Donald Mac Dhuibhshíthe, who is recorded as witnessing a charter by John, Earl of Ross and Lord of the Isles in 1463. In Celtic Scotland, Skene thought it was possible the mentioned Dhuibhshíthe was identical to the Lecture of Iona recorded in 1164 within the Irish Annals. Clan symbols. Scottish crest badges are used by clan members to show their allegiance to the clan and chief. Much like clan tartans, crest badges owe their popularity to Victorian Romanticism. Crest badges are heraldic badges which usually contain the heraldic crest of the clan chief, encircled with a buckle containing the chief's heraldic motto. However, in the case of Clan Macfie, which does not have a chief, the crest badge is derived from the coat of arms of Macfie of Dreghorn, who was one of the first Macfies to register a coat of arms in the public register of all arms and bearings in Scotland. The crest badge of Clan Macfie contains as a crest a demi-lion rampant proper. The motto which encircles the crest is Pro Reg, which translated from a Latin means for the king. Although today crest badges are more commonly used by clan members, the original badges worn by clansmen were plant badges or clan badges. Clan badges consisted of plants which were worn on a bonnet or attached to a pole or spear. There have been several clan badges attributed to Clan Macfie, and the clans shares the use of them with several associated clans. Clan badges attributed to Clan Macfie include Scots Pine, attributed to all 7 of the clans of Sile Alpin Oak, also attributed to Clan Cameron. Crowberry, also attributed to Clan MacLean and Clan Cameron. Tartan. The clan's official Clan Macfie tartan was registered in the books of the court of the Lord Lyon, King of Arms, on the 29th of August 1991. It is possible the tartan may date back to about the time of the first Macfie coats of arms were registered in the mid-19th century. However, it was first recorded in 1906 in Johnston's The Tartans of the Clans and Septs of Scotland. The tartan is very similar to the Mackiva tartan, swapping the colour green for the Mackiva black. However, it has been said that the colours and the general appearance of the Macfie tartan are similar to the Cameron tartan, and that it may allude to the dependence on Clan Cameron of several Macfies after the collapse of the clan. The Clan Cameron Association considers the surnames Macfie and Macfie as a sept of Clan Cameron. Associated clan surnames. Today there are many variations of the clan name Macfie, meaning son of Dhuibhshíthe. People who bear such surnames are considered members of the clan. Clan Macfie also has historical links with other clans, such as Clan Cameron. As already stated, several members of Clan Macfie emigrated to lands controlled by Clan Cameron in the 17th century, and that Clan Cameron considers certain variations of Macfie as septs of theirs. There may be also a link between Clan Macfie and the MacNichols of Glenorchy. These MacNichols are considered a sept of Clan Campbell. The origin of the MacNichols of Glenorchy and Glenshire is unknown. Niall Campbell, 10th Duke of Argyll, maintained they were originally MacNaughtons of Dunderave. However, local tradition had it that they were originally Macfies, descended from Nichol Macfie, who left the Cameron-controlled Lochaber region in the 16th century. According to Somerled Macmillan, there were recently many MacNichols in Lochaber who were supposed to descend from the members of Clan Macfie, though they were to have held lands in the Lochaber area since before 1493.